Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to You're Offended. I'm Kim. This, I don't know, potato man up there is Tyler. And it,
No. Okay. In the comments. Who is that? I can't remember what he says but you know. He walks around like that. You know. You know.
I don't know. I'm either thinking some sort of zombie or Jabba the Hutt.
You want me to put my hand behind my head like this?
Uh,
Huh? Who is that? Who is that? Tell me in the comments. Hold on. Huh?
anyway,
Who is that? Who is that?
don't know.
Oh, of course you know. Of course, anything with a black actor in it. Of course, you're not going to know. Racist.
Really?
Racist.
Really? Anyway. So it's
You know there.
Friday.
You know there, Kimberly. Oh wait, hold on. I'm fucking that up. All right. Anyways, continue.
Friday. Oh my God. Quit interrupting me with your weird. Oh, I don't even know what you're doing anymore. Anyway, so hope everybody's had a fantastic week so far. For one, I'm glad it's Friday. Yep, the end of the week. Yay! So, uh, yeah, you don't even know what the end of the week is because you work like 7 days a week.
Yep.
It's like, oh yay, Friday. It's like every other day. Why am I look so laggy right now? Like I look like I'm in a Oriental or some sort of other language dubbed movie. My lips don't match what I'm saying. I don't know if it's coming through like this or not, but it's quite comical. Anyway, so before we get into anything, I have one thought and one story for you. So there's this girl that I work with, and I had found out that she lives in the same town as we do. And
Hey.
quite literally right across the street. So anyway, when I was talking to her and I realized where she lived or whatever, or where she said where she lived, I was like, oh my God, are you the one? Like, do you have any dogs? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you have a pit bull? Like, do you have like the screaming pit that I heard? And she kind of looked at me all confused for a moment, right? And I'm like, well, I remember seeing this pit bull and he was like screaming or heard a pit bull screaming or whatever. And it turns out that it was her dog. However, it wasn't something like her dog was just making some weird noises or whatever. Her dog was outside and went up to go see her dad in the yard, and some asshole driving down the road swerved off of the road into her front yard to hit her dog. And then just boom, kept going by. So that's what I heard why the dog was screaming. I'm like, oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
What
I'm like,
the?
that is fucked up.
Why?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, do you know who it was? Like, is it someone from town and stuff like that? And she's like, I have no idea. Like the person just like hit him and took off. And like her dad and everybody were too concerned with trying to get to the dog that, yeah. I'm like, that is so disgusting. Like they literally went out of their way to swerve off of the road to hit this dog. Like, tell me that's not gross. The poor dog ended up like, he's only 3 years old and he had to get like surgery and stuff because his leg was broken and stuff. Like, I'm like, oh my God, that poor thing. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. People are fucked up.
Okay. All right. So before we get into any more stories, of course, we are on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify. You know, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You know, share it with your friends. If you're on Rumble, you know, hit the Rumble button on Google Podcasts or Spotify or whatever. You know, leave us a review. If you learned something new today, if we made you smile, if we made you frown, you know, so come on. All right. Is there anything else?
Well, I don't have another story, but I do have another thought. So as I was driving today, I just happen to, I don't know, in the old think tank here, just thinking to myself as my mind runs a million miles an hour as per usual. But so, okay, we live in a world right now where there are 200 plus genders, right?
I guess depends what world you want to live in, the real world or fabricated. Sure.
Well, they seem to blend. They're kind of one and the same now. But anyway, so yeah, okay. So there's like a bajillion genders. I almost said benders. Whatever. But there's a bunch of different genders. Now, the thing is there's always that talk between, are you male? Are you female? Is gender and sex the same? Are they different? And it's this ongoing thing, which everybody who's listening is fully aware of. But
I
okay,
don't know if they are.
no,
Well, if you go by the teachings or the questioning by the Supreme Court justice in the United States, she's not a biologist, so she doesn't know what a woman is.
that was so bad. Oh my god, I was watching that. She looked so dumb, so dumb. Like, literally, someone's asking her a question like, "Okay, well, what's the difference between a man and a woman?" Well, what is the context? I don't know what the context. I don't know what the case is.
Like,
It has nothing to do
well,
with the freaking case.
to be fair, this is the same person that what is it, a 15-time convicted child pornography trafficker, whatever. Um, I think the minimum was, or maybe I'm getting these things confused, but 15 years minimum. The progressive side was saying 3 years. She gave him 3 months. And the recidivism rate of people that like molest or hurt children is extremely high.
3 months? Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't get that far into that podcast, but holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is someone that actually like distributed, you know, kitty adult stuff. And so that's the wonderful world of affirmative action and someone getting a qualification based on their skin color.
What you talking about, Willis?
Well, Kamala Harris literally fucked her way into the position that she got.
Ugh, yeah, I know. Okay, so anyway, so with that, okay, so you live in a world where nobody knows what male or female is. Okay, it literally is apparently interchangeable, and there's a whole bunch of different genders that I don't even understand. How is anybody supposed to know what all 200 and something genders mean? I had my kid come up to me the other day because there's somebody in their school that identifies as what was it, a Zer air, something like that. And he was asking me what it meant. Like, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's make believe.
And literally, like I looked, I was like, a wood elf? I don't know. But like I looked it up and I couldn't even find a proper answer for it. It was just like, however somebody essentially describes themselves and da da da, whatever gender they're feeling or pronoun. And I'm like, you're not explaining to me what it actually means. Like, what is the definition? There was one thing before we hit the 200 plus mark that they actually had like a list of a bunch of the different genders, and they had descriptions and stuff beside them as to why someone would constitute as a they them or their ear, whatever. What else? I don't know. Fuck. But
See,
I can't even remember. Like I can remember 5 of them, but okay, there was definitions to that. So people could read through this big long list of different genders and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's totally me. Yeah, I'm a little confused most days and talk to myself." Or, yeah, I feel like a man 5 days out of the week, but then a female 2
okay,
days
I,
of the week.
I, I,
So,
I, I have to stop you. I have to stop you because I'm not playing make believe. I'm not playing these stupid fucking games of making up stuff and giving it any credence. Like definition of something that doesn't exist is okay. It's a cool make believe, but I can't even possibly listen to someone trying to give a substantiated definition on something that doesn't exist. Like literally does not exist.
Well, yeah, I couldn't find the definition, which is like my point. But
Okay,
anyway,
well we could have saved fucking 20 minutes with that. But I can't even try to understand. Well, I understand it, but it means nothing. It literally means nothing. And this is so stupid that this gets pushed more and more in schools.
well, this is kind of like what I'm going at too, is like, or what I was trying to say there is that, okay, before there was a list and you can pick from the descriptions and then pick whatever kind of pronoun or whatever that you're feeling. Okay. But now, like, I can't even find the meanings of certain things because the list has gotten so big. And how would you expect somebody to even remember the meanings or even the names of all these things? Like, even thinking of, okay, people's names. Let's just say people's names in general. Okay. Like, your name is Tyler. My name is Kim. Okay. So I can remember people's names by who they are. Okay. I couldn't tell you what your name meant. Just like I'm sure you couldn't tell me what my name means. Do you know what I mean? Like it's things like that. Like you don't. How are you expected to know the definitions and everything of
Well,
all these different things?
you're not. Honestly, you're not. And the fact that this gets any type of exposure, any type of credence is mind blowing to me.
Yeah,
You are not deserving of my respect, flat out. That goes for any of you. You are not deserving of my respect, just like I am not deserving of yours. Respect is earned, not expected. I will treat you with respect. I will treat most people with respect that I feel they deserve it. If you do not deserve my respect, then I'm not going to give it to you.
yeah. Well, that's a fair enough statement. So
So,
with this thought, though, okay, with the thought of the fact that people can change their genders and their sex literally by whatever they feel like that day. We have something in our society that people have been bitching. Sure, we're going to go with that word because I can't think of a big fancy word like you do. Bitching about.
I know it all language.
Yeah. But okay, so lots of people have been bitching about something called cultural appropriation. Okay. So, you can't wear this because, well, that's a black thing, or you can't do this because it's a Spanish thing, or whatever. You can't say this or dance the powwow because that's a Native American thing.
Can't say powwow now.
Oh,
That's insensitive because, snowflakes and bunch of crybabies.
oh my God. Anyway, well, sorry if I offended somebody, but we got the fucking warning label. We're offended, you're offended. So if we offended you, bye. Anyway, so, okay. Where is the difference between today I identify as a wood elf zer and I'm black? If you can change your sex because or your gender because apparently it means nothing. It's all what goes on in here. It has nothing to do with science. So why can't I tell you that I identify as a black woman? Got a big
Uh,
ass.
It
I
it
mean,
if I remember correctly, because it has to do with lived experience. Your truth has nothing to do with the truth.
excuse you. Well, my lived truth is since I was like 12 years old, I've had my period and had to deal with cramps and, tit pain and whatever else, especially from bouncing around without a bra or whatever if you're running around. I can keep going on with the list here. But I'm sorry if you
But you're
decided
not
to
black.
transition. If you decided to transition, you did not have my lived pain and experience. So if we're allowed to just change these things at the drop of a hat and be whatever we want, you can literally have a male who competed in male sports and failed to then go compete in female sports and dominate. And we are literally giving medals to males because, well, he identifies as a female, then why can't I identify as being black or Native American?
Okay, well, if you want to get into the topic, okay, because this has nothing what is actually, to talk about today. But if you do want to get into the idea of Leah Thomas competing against women and oh, shame on him, her, whatever, because they won, okay, so what? Like, what the fuck do I care? Like, truly, what does it matter? Everyone complains. Oh, well, it's a guy beat a bunch of girls. I even had some fucking people on Facebook comment and say, well, they had a picture of Leah Thomas on one side and then three girls, whatever, on the other, and say, oh, like this is what I just said, okay, they won. End of story. And someone said, "Oh, you're just a sheep. Why don't you fucking think?" And just because it's the rules doesn't mean that it's right. Okay, who's complaining? Who's complaining?
Lots of people.
The people. Well, okay, but what are they doing? Oh, the now that a girl lost. Well, of the 16 competitors. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Out of the 16 people that qualified, number 17 complained because she didn't qualify out
Okay.
of all of them. So
Yeah.
I
But
I I don't get it.
to
So
be
what?
honest, she was probably the only person who actually had enough cojones to say something because
No,
everybody
not
else is
even.
too
Not
scared to
even.
say anything.
So what? Then shut up. Then shut up and don't say anything at all. You don't want to speak up. You don't want to say anything. You don't want to talk to schools. These are all adults. They're all adults. If your parents don't give a fuck, if your fellow competitors don't give a fuck, then why should I? Why should I be so concerned about what you want to do? You want to go into a situation where nobody, I even the person that ranked number 17 even said, even though I totally stand with Leah Thomas, I just think it's unfair. Okay, then shut up. Why are you talking?
Well, so what? Nobody is allowed to say anything. They're not allowed to voice their opinion in that. So it's okay for the heads of the whatever the competition or whatever to make this decision, but the people who are actually competing in said thing, they're not allowed to have an opinion about it or say anything about it. They're just supposed to shut up and bend over and take it up the ass.
No, it's not that you can say whatever you want. But what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm still going to compete. Okay, then go and compete. You accepted the rules. These are the rules. This is what's happening. And this is what I don't understand. So, Leah Thomas won fair and square, flat out. There's really no more to discuss about it. This is the rules. These are the parameters. You either accept or you refuse. Well, those girls accepted and they got their asses beat.
Probably because they didn't have a choice. It's either
You,
okay, they literally like
that's that's such bullshit.
how is that bullshit? Yeah,
Did
they could
someone
all
force them? Did
well,
they say if you don't compete, you're gonna be fucking stuck in a shallow grave?
do you know what kind of world we're living in right now? Like, for one, nobody has enough fucking cojones to stand up and say anything because
Why is
everybody's
that
too
my
freaking
problem?
scared. Two,
Why is that my problem?
if somebody says something, everybody's worried about being canceled.
Oh well, then why is that my problem?
Who's saying it is your problem? No one's saying it is your
No,
problem, but people are allowed to say something about it.
okay, but I talk about this. We talk about we literally talk about things that people being canceled, people being shut down, people not wanting to talk. Okay, well, when the mob comes for you and we say, "Hey, stop! Hey, stop! Hey, stop!" When we've been saying that. And many other people, Jordan Peterson called it out years ago, saying where this is going to become the norm. Yeah, it's crazy and lunacy now, but compelled speech is going to become the norm. All this forced identity stuff is going to become the norm, and people are saying, "Hey, just stop." Vaccine mandates. Oh yeah, I think they should go into prison. I think they should be banned. I think they should be thrown in a ditch somewhere. So when people are saying, "Hey, How about we just leave each other alone? How about we just respect each other? You make your choices, I make mine. But when that mob finally comes free, you can go, hey, wait, I don't approve. Tough shit. Leah Thomas won fair and square. No,
Wouldn't say fair.
it was fair. Those are the rules. Those are the parameters.
Well,
If you have in a UFC competition, they say, hey, you know, in a contest, you need to have this type of steroids in you, or we don't test for steroids. Okay, well, the rules don't say you can't do this, so they were allowed to compete. Otherwise, they would have not competed. They were allowed to compete. So I don't understand where people complain for, or why they complain about it.
it's just not right. And a lot of people didn't know about it to begin
And
with.
and
A lot of people didn't know about it. Yeah, the people who
oh,
were
come
in
on.
it, the people who were in it did. Did I know that something like this was happening? That they were allowing something like this in these games? No, because I don't pay attention to stuff like that because I'm not a sports person. And then all of a sudden it comes up and you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is
Well,
this
this has
even
happened multiple
okay?
times.
It's just,
But this is the thing. This has happened in the Olympics. This has happened before. This has happened years ago. This has been brought up. But everyone says, "Oh, well, no big deal. I'm just going to compete. I'm going to do my best." Okay, well, when you get your ass beat, you can't retroactively go back and say, "Hey, I didn't like those rule changes a year ago." Like if this is your thing, would you not be aware of rules and changes? Would they not have some type of bulletin being sent out if there are rule changes? If someone identifies as a female, okay, well, then that opens up the door for anyone.
okay, but that's for the people who are in it. I'm talking about the people who aren't in it who maybe weren't
So
aware of
why?
it. So now
So
there's
what? Why does that matter?
how does
Again,
that?
why does that matter? You're not competing in it. I'm not competing in it. If that's what they want to do, if that's the rules that they agreed upon, let them eat cake or cheesecake if you're Doug Ford. Like that's what I don't understand. How does this affect you?
Because this world is getting fucked up.
Yeah.
When
Well,
literally like
people
everything you can't even be a fucking female, dude. Like you can't even be an
no,
actual real female
and
because
and
it's not allowed.
the empathy side in me is, yeah, absolutely, yeah, there should be places that are protected for women. That is why, we have these segregated things for men and for women. Okay, well, no offense, but guys most of the time are going to beat women at any type of sport, unless
100%.
it's unless it's like bitching 101 or something, or how to
No,
how
actually
to
I think you would
manipulate.
still win that over me, just saying.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think you would. But that's
But
the thing. Like when you actually look at the science, like yes, men are stronger than females. There's
typically, yes.
lots of things that they can do that are more superior than a female. And it has nothing to do with the fact that a female isn't strong or athletic or anything like that. Like it has nothing to do with that. It's just the genetics, the makeup of the testosterone and the male and the whole body. Just it's different. It's built different. It's meant to be built different because they're different. They're not the same. Like
Well, careful, because what you're saying is no speak. Don't you? Do you have a degree in biology, Kim?
no. But I have a degree in make believe. Yeah, I do.
I
And
was a DM, so I'm basically an expert at making shit up.
right? And besides, this is going completely like off topic to what I was even asking to begin with. Like you started going more into the Leah whatever, but that wasn't
Okay,
the whole basis of my thing. It was if people are just going to be able to interchange and it's totally like I don't understand how somebody it's okay for somebody to interchange their sex and their biology, but yet if I were to decide to identify as a different race, that's not okay. How is that any different? It's equally as ridiculous.
I don't know the extent because it's the circular logic. It makes no sense.
What do you
It
mean?
doesn't. The circular well because you the logic in ways of well what the Rachel Dolezal white as fuck white 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 like white and she identifies as black. I like the thing is an only way that they accept you is if you accept the ideology. Sean King, white, 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 but somehow he identifies as black.
Which it's just the whole like then what the hell is cultural appropriation? Like it literally means absolutely nothing if people can just interchange.
It's never meant anything. That's the thing. If we can't agree on words, said this a million times. We cannot agree on the definitions of words. Okay, well then we cannot communicate. And they keep changing things. Why? Like why? Okay, what does it matter? I have to ask it again. Okay, if you want to go play make believe, like I've said before, I am looking for a reason to pull those kids out of school. In fact, I finally got a hold of some of their curriculum, and we'll see how long they're actually going to be in school.
Okay, but
Because I'm done with this. I'm not going to partake. If that's what you want to do, if you want to have 200 and whatever fucking genders and you want to have the circular firing squad to eliminate anyone that goes against the orthodoxy, then go have fun. Leave me alone.
so what was with some of the curriculum that you seen?
I'm looking at it. So you'll have to give me a bit
Where'd you get it from?
online.
From our kids' school or just kids' school in general?
No, they're school.
Interesting.
But okay. All right. So I don't yeah, it's just let them have fun. Let them do what they want to do. They want to destroy everything. Let them go. Go away. Leave me alone, though. That's all I ask. Destroy sporting competitions. Destroy women's sports. Destroy women in everything.
But
Because
it's
men are going to do it better.
but it's not gonna go away. That's the thing. If you're just like, oh, or not go away. If you're just gonna be like, okay, well, just you go do you, just leave me alone. Well, guess what? They're not because it's literally infiltrating in every single aspect of your life, everywhere.
I under
You're not gonna be
I
able to
understand
escape
that.
it.
I understand that. My point is what's the point of trying to fight with people like when this is being talked about? It's not like this is hidden. New Brunswick has the Ministry of Diversity and Inclusion where we have legislation being pushed for anti-racism. How many times does anti-racism need to be explained that it is not being not racist, it is being discriminatory? We already have laws that are actively discriminatory. In fact, we have an article in here talking about is Canada racist? Canada is systemically racist, which is weird because Justin Trudeau, has been in power for what, 8 years, 7, 8, 9,
How
nine
has it
years.
been that long?
And so, if you
No
want to talk
wonder.
about systemic racism, why has he not done anything? Where we have initiatives targeted towards minorities, why? That is discriminatory. But that's the thing. You see it over and over and over again. Please continue watching CBC, CTV, CNN, MSNBC, Fox. Please keep watching it where you stay uninformed, where you can't even ask the basic question of, is that true? Because okay, so let's just get into this because that's the difference of like actually trying to flesh out an idea. I understand your position. I understand where you're coming from. And at some point, it goes, hey, like a lot of people are saying that this isn't okay. And then you have people going, well, it's not okay, but I'm going to allow it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with government taking more money from me, even though I know they're very bad at actually funding things properly. Okay, so then, like, what do you want me to do? No, and I don't just mean like me personally, but like someone that's already been talking about this, seeing these things that are wrong. Like I said, I had a conversation with a very close friend of mine, and he literally said to me, you benefit from white privilege. I said, what the fuck did you just say to me? I benefit from white privilege. That blew my mind because they know my history. They know how I grew up. I didn't grow up with the best household. I didn't grow up with every opportunity. But to say that I grew up with white privilege, fuck you. Like, that is literally a racist ideology to have. Because of my skin color, I was entitled to more things than someone that's a minority.
Like what?
Weird. What?
Like what?
What was I entitled to?
Yeah. What did you get more over a minority?
Please let me know. I don't know. My parents split when I was young. I had to drop out of high school in order to help pay for bills so that we didn't lose our home. In fact, we ended up having to move into an apartment. So, what? What? That I started work when I was 13 years old, delivering flyers? Was that the white privilege? What? Like, this is some stuff that we can get into, but talking and seeing this stuff. Okay, well, let people destroy it. Like, I would love to say, hey, you know what? This is what we need to do, and if we want to do that and this, yeah. But if you tell someone, hey, you know, hey, this racism stuff is a real. I don't like the idea of segregating people. Oh well, you're just a bigot. Oh well, because you benefit from a structure that's rooted in European uh, excellence, and because of your skin color, weird. Because my lived experience isn't a white person's lived experience. Just like it's such a discriminatory thing to say.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I just don't understand what is happening with this world lately. And the thing is, like, okay, you can sit there and say all you want, like, well, what do I care? Why should I care? Whatever. I don't think it's right. Whether you care about it or not, or whether it affects you or not. Um, I'm a woman and I'm affected by it. I think it's bullshit. I think it's wrong. And the fact that, like, whatever. Yeah, maybe there's nothing I can do about it because, the people who need to stand up are the people who are actually competing, for them to say, "No, I will not stand for this," and actually put a foot down. Me saying something isn't going to matter because I'm not the one competing. Because
exactly.
as you just said that, well, the other people, they signed on for it. They did it. So why should you care? I care because it's wrong. And the people who should be caring aren't saying anything. And I can guarantee you that they don't feel that it's right. But they're not going to say anything because everybody's too scared to say anything today. Because God
Why?
forbid you have any opinion that is different from somebody else's, because then they're just going to come and attack you. You can't actually have just a conversation or talk about, science or, the real world, because, oh, you're just this or you're just that, or, oh my God, you're going to honk your horn. You're a fucking terrorist. And what is this world coming to? Literally, everybody has a fucking label. And if it's not people
Okay,
labeling themselves, it's everybody else labeling everybody else.
okay, but so people that know it's not wrong or know that it's wrong and choose to do nothing. Well, because I don't want to lose my job. Okay, so then you're comfortable with security over being free. Why is that my problem? That is your decision to make.
Well, I can hear
Why
what you're saying.
why is it why is it my problem? Why should I honestly, why should I care that someone says, "Well, I don't really agree with it, but I'm just gonna keep my head down." Okay, then why do I need to speak for you? You're an adult, speak for yourself. Those girls decided not to, they decided to be compliant. How does that
Okay, but like I said, nobody is saying that. Okay, if you're saying that you don't care about it, okay, well, then that's your choice. But I'm saying that I do care about it. I think that it's wrong. I don't think it's right. And I think people should be standing up for this because it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I do not care if a man decides that he wants to be a woman. Okay, if that's what you want to do and that's what makes you happy, all the power to you. This has nothing to do with me being transphobic or whatever kind of shit you want to throw at me. It has nothing to do with that because honestly, I couldn't be happier for you if that was what makes you happy. But when you're then going to come into a woman's sport or come and compete against a woman in something that is a physical competition, that is not right. It's not right because you are always going to outscore them. It's just the way it's going to be. And it's not even just outscoring, it's like annihilating it. And literally, it's taking everything away from women. If you want to be a woman, okay, great. But don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Diminish an actual woman. Say that they don't matter and start changing things to them. Like, oh, because I'm a woman, I have to fit right in. You just don't matter. It literally feels like women in general just don't matter anymore.
No, they don't.
No.
Unfortunately, and the quote that I was looking for was from Thomas Paine, and it goes, "I prefer peace, but if trouble must come, let it come in my time, so that my children can live in peace." So these are things that need to be talked about. When we have laws in Ontario, we brought up Bill C-67, that literally is racist. Literally, you need to have an anti-racist certification in order to graduate.
Yeah.
And this is the second reading. I don't know how much further that's gone, but okay. People are talking about these things. But if you don't want to talk about it, if you just want to duck and cover, like how the Germans in it's the benevolence of evil. Just because you choose to do nothing, even though you know that something isn't morally right or it isn't right. Okay, choice that you made was to do nothing, turn a blind eye, and as long as I don't see it, I'm okay. So you know what? Let there be fucking 300 genders. Please throw me in prison because I dead named someone or because I didn't use their preferred pronouns. I don't care. I don't care what your pronouns are. You are not deserving of my respect. The way I look at you, when you say you need to address me as this, I can address you as whatever I want. I am not subservient to you. I am not subservient to anyone.
Now that doesn't go against where or whatever. If someone were to come up to us and we were to meet somebody and they were like, "Hi, I'm so and so." And then we accidentally misgender you or whatever and you were to correct us. It's not like we would sit there and look down on you and make fun of you or like treat you like shit or be like, "No, I'm not going to call you that." Okay, if we're having a conversation or whatever and you're like, "Actually, it's blah." Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I would do my best to remember what your pronouns were and to address you as such because I
I wouldn't. Because
it
I personally, I'm not. It's the idea of if someone, we know someone that has like schizophrenic type of ideas, but if you feed into their psychosis, it makes it worse.
no, I know.
So, why would you feed into their psychosis? You see it all over the place. I will treat you with respect. I have a friend who's transgender, and it's not on purpose. And I try to call them by their name now, and I do call them she.
Well, then
And
there you go.
that is out of respect because they're not fucking psychotic saying you need to address me as Zer. And if you don't, then you're a terrible human being. No, because
That's my
I'm not a
point.
total asshole.
But that was where I was trying to
But it's
get
he and
to.
shirt. It's he and she.
Well,
Pretty
yeah,
fucking binary.
but that's where I was trying to get to. Like, if yeah, you accidentally misgender somebody and they're okay, well, I'm a she. Oh. And you look like a she. Oh, okay.
Well,
Well, I'm sorry. But like
Okay, all right. So okay, so let's
Yes.
actually get into,
Yeah, I can't.
you know, but that's kind of my end thing is people talk about it, and if you choose not to do nothing, okay, well then why do I need to speak?
I'm
But
not saying that I'm speaking for anybody else. I'm speaking for
no,
myself right now.
I understand that. Like, you're my wife. I don't want to see you kicked out of a place because of someone's position. But if you did, good, good. I can see that. The reason why I say good is if you say, I'm not going to be a part of this psychosis, good, let them do it. I hope they do a fantastic job. And I'm going to go do something that I love to do. I don't have to be at this shitty dead end fucking place anymore. I'm going to do what I really love to do. I'm sure you love sitting in an office 8, 9 hours a day. I'm sure you love it. Just like I love being in a truck. Well, to be fair, I do because I get to listen to a lot of different experiences, a lot of people's opinions.
Yeah, what does that
So,
quiet feel like? I can't. I
um,
can't. I can't say that I can relate whatsoever.
but people need to start if people are going to take a stand, then take a stand. You have to. Or when it finally comes for you, don't say, "Hey, hey, hey, hey." No, you've given up that opportunity.
I
And I've
think
said this directly to people that I know. You have firsthand knowledge of where this shit ends up, and you choose not to speak up.
I think that's kind of like like when is enough going to be enough, people?
It's never.
At,
It's
at
never
what
going to be
at
enough.
what point are people going to be like, okay, this was kind of dumb. Like, why are we doing this? Or why did we
It's
allow this? Like,
it, it's been dumb for years.
but but that's my point. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop being so stupid?
Until Canada is a communist country. That is when it will stop, and it will never stop because it's an ideology. It has nothing to do with equality. It is literally the idea of identities, institutions. This is all rooted in Karl Marx, the same guy that said that what was happening in the Maoist revolution, or it wasn't Marx, but it was a student of Marx said, what's happening here is fantastic. What's happening in the Great Leap Forward, and I believe it was in fuck was it with Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. What his revolution was called the greatest leap forward, where tens of millions of people died. But that's where this is where this is going. This is a march towards socialism. This is a march towards communism. This is literally what Canada is doing. We talked about this last time, where they want to institute dental and vision and other healthcare things. Okay, well, they're looking at socializing industry, which is a step towards communism. When all industry is owned by the people, it is socialist. It is an socialism is an economic policy. Communism is governmental. But that's where it ends. That's where it ends. It ends with mass death, mass starvation. So keep marching towards it. Please say nothing. Say nothing. You know how your mother brought up, um, when I said about like Canada, the thing about Liberty Prime. If you're not on in our Facebook group, or even on Twitter, I took a picture of it was a burrito that I made, and on the back it looked like Liberty Prime, like it looked like a giant robot, and I just thought, oh, that's kind of funny. And one of the quotes that he says is, "Death is a preferable alternative to communism." And then I put hashtag Liberty, hashtag Prime, or fuck something like that. And she goes, "Well, if you think Canada is already a communist country, why aren't you leaving?" There's a reason why that house is all torn up right now. There's a reason why. But okay.
All right. Well, hope everybody enjoyed our little story sesh we had today. And don't forget to check us out in all the places listed in the description box below. You know, I've done this take twice now, and I still fucked it up on both times. But anyway, hope everybody has a fantastic day. And I think, I don't know, you look like fucking Potato Man or some weird thing to me. But anyway, you had a question before we get out of here.
Yeah, I would love to hear people's opinions. What are your thoughts on it?
On what?
On what we talked about? Do people need to speak up? Or are people okay? Well, it's more of a complex situation, or I would just love to hear people's opinions on it. Just
Me too.
on what we talked about. I would love to hear, especially differing opinions. Because
I agree.
I've said time and time again, if you don't like it, then leave. You don't like what's happening, speak up and say, I don't accept this. I have told places time and time again, I will walk out. I will pull my truck and trailer, I will pull them off, and I don't give a fuck. My integrity, my sovereignty is more important than having to comply. And I know I'm a giant hypocrite because I got a vaccine and a vaccine passport. I know I'm a giant hypocrite. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, like I said, I hope everybody had a fantastic day. And I don't know, let's stop playing make believe. Okay. Let's just, live our lives.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.